Give us your assessment, sir, of Colorado.
Sure. So let me do something for you, Steve, that I don't think you're going to hear anywhere else, especially not focused on. And, you know, I do think the War Room audience is the smartest audience that's out there, so they're going to get it. So what was the evidence that this Colorado Supreme Court four-justice majority used to say that President Trump engaged in insurrection? It was the January 6th report as sponsored by Executive Counsel Tim Heaphy. So imagine you just have this totally partisan report, a real 9-0. They never voted anything other than 9-0. They were out to get President Trump from the start. They had all been sponsors, essentially, of the second impeachment against Trump for the article of impeachment about insurrection under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Even though the Senate acquitted him of that, they put this committee together. And the Colorado Supreme Court says that is reliable evidence. And they say it's reliable evidence because it's an exception to the hearsay rule, because it's a reliable government report. And they say this with a straight face. It's completely ridiculous that this is a reliable government report. It's an entirely political hack job. We're not talking about, a tort case, Steve, where, someone sues because their loved one died in a plane crash, and then evidence is submitted in the form of an NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board report that concludes why did the accident happen, et cetera. And you think, oh, well, that's the neutral federal government here. They reached a conclusion. This was a complete partisan biased hit job on President Trump from the start. And as I also know you're well familiar with, it's a mockery of due process, even at due process at the level of what Congress does in its hearings. There was no one who was allowed to cross-examine any of the witnesses. So that's right there, something that's flatly unconstitutional, and then rely on it to keep President Trump off the ballot. And there weren't even minority counsels because there were no minorities appointed by the minority party through the Republican conference. So all you had was the fake tokenism of Liz Cheney, who hates Trump, and Adam Kinzinger, who's a complete lightweight and was just trying to make himself famous, and also clearly is not any kind of conservative Republican. The idea that you could just introduce this report and then have one of the investigative counsel say, well, it was reliable because I believe all the committee members had an open mind. It's like test-a-lying, Steve, and it's truly ridiculous. It makes a mockery of American due process, and it has to be rejected by the Supreme Court as soon as possible.